Welcome back to Newstalgia, the show where we find out what happens when something old becomes something new. I don't know if you knew this about me, but I typically have never really been a big fan of fighting games. The first fighting game that I actually loved playing was Mortal Kombat on Xbox 360 and PS3. The fighting was so fluid, and I loved the character designs. I actually got pretty decent at maining Reptile in it. Way back, Mortal Kombat teamed up with DC for Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. The game was a total disappointment. See, they had to sacrifice the gore, which is a terrible thing to do for a franchise like Mortal Kombat. But after the success of Mortal Kombat on PS3 and 360, they actually developed a similar fighting style game specifically revolving around the DC universe. What worked so well this time was that they focused on DC. They took a really nice variety of characters from the comics and put in a surprisingly fantastic story mode. On top of that, they really stayed true to all the well-established DC characters. A big plus for me personally was the inclusion of Nightwing. Dick Grayson has always been one of my favorite DC characters, and I just love being able to play as him. Like Reptile, I actually got pretty good at using him. See, the thing that worked so well with these games were that not only were the controls pretty easily accessible, but the characters really drew you in. When the PS4 first launched, one of the earliest remastered games I can remember them releasing was Injustice. This made me really happy because I was getting rid of my previous gen consoles, but still wanted to be able to play this at the time. There isn't much to be said about this remaster though. It's essentially a better looking port, but that experience that made me fall in love with this game is still there. All the awesome characters, including the DLC characters, the fun gameplay, the fantastic story. Everything was there with a newish look. Obviously you can get Injustice 2, which I won't lie is a huge improvement over this one, but to be fair, there's something about this one that made it so special. You weren't collecting gear to make your character stronger, you were depending on improving your skill to do better. Honestly, if you're looking for a fun fighting game, I would recommend just going for the sequel, but if you do come across this for cheap, it's definitely worth checking out. On that note, this has been Newstalgia. Stay tuned for next time.